Hello YouTube and welcome back to the Nitro Addiction. So today we are going to get this new Alpha completely set in this car. I was waiting on a tool to make sure I could get the Alpha Racing 4-shoe clutch. I couldn't get it completely tight. If any of you have watched Ryan Lutz's video with that Alpha 4-shoe clutch, this is the tool that he was using to tighten it down, so I went ahead and got myself one. For anybody interested, looks like the part number is going to be, let me zoom in a little, there we go, X000009. I don't see anything else on here that would be a part number. That seems like an odd part number, but anyways, so be a four-way, or as they call it in England, a spinner, whatever you prefer. That thing is nice. It's 8mm, 10mm. It's kind of hard to see. There we go, 5.5mm. Ooh, I didn't realize that was a 3mm. I didn't look too closely at that. Nice. That'll work on a lot of engine mount screws. I'm sure there's other things that it will work on, but I know I got a couple vehicles that have 3mm engine mount screws, so that's nice. Alright, so get this stuff out of the way. And turn on the lights so everybody can see. Okay. So the last time that we put this engine in here, we didn't really tighten things down too much, nor did we Loctite, because I knew I was going to have to do this, so everything should come out pretty quick and easy. Let's see. Man, that fuel line is on there tight. Alright, then we will take the car out first and then we will pull the fuel line off, because right now it does not want to come out. I did score one of my first eBay wins today. It should be here hopefully early next week. So what is that, around like the, let's see, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. It should be here around the 5th, maybe 6th. So stay tuned for that. I don't want to give it away. Pretty excited about it. And there's the last screw. There, much easier that way. Nope. Of course, I forgot about the throttle linkage. So now let's get this out of the way for the moment. Man, even for just being an RC engine, that is a thing of beauty. Hope it runs as good as it looks. So I know I've seen videos of the Alpha engines, and I know Ryan Lutz has used them for a while, so I think it's going to be pretty good. Hoping it's going to be pretty good. Anyways. Okay, so Didn't even have to hold the clutch to get that screw to break loose. So I found out that so basically anybody that runs Tekin or Losi, they know that it has like an extended bell. I mean, it's a little taller than most others. Let me find another example. So there you can see the difference. So yeah, if you try to run this shorter one in a Tekin, it's the engine sets back a little further and the gears don't quite match up with the spur. It'll put it out here at the end of it. So if you want good gear mesh, you got to get. Basically, it's one of the. It's the same thing as the Losi. If you look up the Tekin clutch bells, they're basically the same as the Losis. They got that bigger inside bearing. I don't remember the size of it. And then this would be the standard 4x5x10. But yeah, just in case anybody's curious. Yeah, I was trying to order a vented 13 tooth, and I'm not finding anything that really looks like it's going to work. I'm sure there's something out there. I just haven't found it. But the one I did find, it was real short and meant for like Traxxas or something. I don't know. But anyways, I'm sending that one back. So my shoes should be good. Anybody that saw the last video noticed that I couldn't get this the other wrench all the way in there and get this nut tightened down. Man, even with this one, it's a tight fit. It does not want to fit in there very well. Yeah, I don't know how Ryan Lutz got it in there so easy, but I mean, this is the clutch nut that came with this 4-shoe Alpha Racing. If I can get this thing to focus. There we go. So you can see what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's real tight. This little space in here is pretty tight. It's hard to find a socket or a nut driver that will fit in there properly. With the exhaust on here, it's hard to grab. I'm gonna have to ask Ryan what he did to get it to fit in there so well. Okay, I don't have a good pair of channel locks that will protect this, so I'm gonna try and use regular channel locks with this bandana. And hopefully I don't scratch this thing up. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take off this exhaust because it's in the way. Should have just done that to start with, but find out anytime you try to be lazy in this hobby, things do not work well. Okay, there goes the spring. Good tight seal on that exhaust gasket. Now that I get my hand in there, I may not need the. Oh, I can feel it turn. That's good. Yeah, I think I'll try to put this bandana on here. Hopefully, I can get a good grip on this and not damage it. I'm gonna make it ugly before I get to run it. That wrench does not fit in there very well. Let me put a tiny little mark in it, but that'll be alright. And since I don't have a marker, so that there, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if we can get some light in there. That's gonna be get in there. I don't know if you can tell, but the piston's all the way down. Maybe if I zoom in one more here. There we go. So you can see now I got the piston all the way down. So what I'm going to do now, do this so that I can tell while I'm running it. Oh, perfect. So hopefully whenever I'm breaking this in, I'll be able to see that this 3.4 millimeter, excuse me, 34 millimeter is down at the bottom. And then we got the alpharc.com up here. And then we got the alpha symbol here. I don't know, I may not be able to really see. Let's see. I just want to mark it so that I can tell where my bottom dead center is. And of course, I don't have a Sharpie. Let's see, so if we put this on. So with the bell on, I can still see it. And then with it in the car, let's see if we can, let's see, so that's going to be my way of telling that it's at bottom dead center, is by seeing that alpharc.com right there on the side. I don't know that I'll be able to quite see the bottom, but as long as I can see the alpha there and the racing.com there, then I know I'm at bottom dead center. So that is the most important thing when we're breaking in engines, right? Alright, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get that clutch in there any tighter, so we're gonna go with this. I think it's going to be fine. Sometimes you just don't know until you run it. And so many times we think we're good until we run it and we find out that we're not. Hopefully that's not the case. Okay, so about to put this in there without Loctite. Okay, so now is when I'm gonna be Loctiting these screws in. Just in case you guys wonder what I'm doing, shaking up the Loctite. I'm sure it's making a funky noise. One thing I forget with filming with the phone, and you would think I would know because it's really the only way that I've ever filmed, but the camera's over here on the left side of it, and there's times where I'll be over here doing something and can't see what I'm doing on the camera because I'm not in the right spot. Let me know in the comments anybody else ever has that kind of issue, as silly as it sounds. Let's see. Can't really see it, but I can feel just a tiny tick of play in there. So we got good bearing spin. Just a tiniest bit of play. So just like we want it. And so I was watching a video earlier of a Dragon 4, I think it was. And I don't know, whoever was watching the first video of this, I mentioned these little, let me get closer to the light. Let's see, I need to fix my lighting here. So I mentioned these little, basically these little hour hands. Let's see, zoom in, there we go. I had never seen these before. I did notice in another video, and the guy even talked about it. I can't remember his name, and I'm sorry. But he was showing, I think it was an Dragon 4, if I'm not mistaken. It's got the same markings in it, so apparently this is something that Alpha does. And I never noticed it before, so in case anybody was wondering, it's just like the hours on a clock. Helps you with your tuning. I kind of wish they had a way of doing it up here. That'd be kind of nice, because this is the main needle that we tune. So it'd be nice to have it up there, but I don't know. It is what it is. I'm not complaining. I just think it's neat. But anyways. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take off this air filter because I need to oil it. So, and then get like a zip tie on it. Show everybody I got a tiny idle set. Got a little piece of fuzz down in here too. There we go. And I don't have a tool to measure, so if it's too small and I can't keep the car running, I'll just back the needle excuse me, or turn the needle in clockwise a couple turns and just open that up a bit. But I think that'll be a good start anyways. Get us close to a good tune. So anyways, okay, so I've got Loctite on this. I've got Loctite on the head screws. I've got Loctite on these. I've got Loctite on the motor mount screws. Sorry, I'm zoomed in. You guys can't even see what I'm doing. So I should have Loctite on everything, ready to go. I do need to grab another spring real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 springs. And these only come with 1, but I have a couple extras, so if it's got 2 holes on it, I like to put 2 springs just to make sure I've got it good and tight. I don't want it leaking here. So let's see if we can do this. Keep it in frame. Have a hard time working on these things and keeping the stuff in frame for you guys. So there's that sign. Get up there. Spring rolled down and beneath this groove, and I want it in this groove. Man, that thing's tight. Okay. Well, let's see how hard it is to get the second one on. Let me back it out here for you guys. All right. So now she's 2 springs strong in there. And just adds more bling to it. Sorry, dumb joke. But, so we have exhaust manifold on there, probably about as tight as we'll ever be able to get it. So now, let's see here. Let's back this out a little bit. Sorry, my camera mount's a little wobbly, but there we go. Now we got it set. So let's get these fuel lines out of the way. All right. I'm sure everybody's got their own way of putting these things together in their own system. I just kind of do what works for me. I like to get one of the screws lined up, get the screw in it, and kind of get it set. And then I'll start Loctiting the other screws and dropping them in. Alright, there we go. Finally got it to go in the hole. Okay. Oops. I'm gonna go ahead and get a second one set before I start doing the Loctite. Sometimes you can get it lined up with one, and sometimes you gotta kind of get two of them in there, because if there's any kind of pressure on it, it'll be sitting at an angle anyways, and you won't get it lined up. Like the front will be kicked out away from it. It'll look like it should be there, but it's just not. Come on, where you at? Seen another guy's video earlier, and man, I can't remember his name either. I'm sorry, I'm throwing out videos and can't remember the names of the people, so you guys can go watch it. But he said, oh, you know what? It's on that RC Enthusiast on Facebook. He had a picture of a couple RCs and said the thing that he hates the most about nitro is he's got like 15 of them. He just keeps building them up and making them look better and blah, 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 and then he hates running them, getting them dirty. And so he doesn't run them anymore. I almost feel the same way, because, man, I'm going to hate getting this this chassis scratched up. I'm not looking forward to that at all. Come on. Let's see. Gotta find the bell. Oh, it's right. It's right in there. Okay, see if we can get a little less ticking out of that. That sounds pretty good. So I like to make sure. I don't think you guys can really hear that much. Okay, so she's a little tight. So we will Almost sounds like it's too much play. Yeah, that's way too much tick. I've seen people where they leave the motor mounts in, and then they always take the motor, the engine, off of the motor mounts. I've never really been one for doing that because it seems like the cooling head's always in the way of the screws. That tick sounds better. That's just a barely any tick. I think you guys can hear that. It's about what you want. And then of course, if you don't have a really long driver, that cooling head, on especially these MIPs, it's gonna start rubbing the label off. I like having that label on there. So now what we want to do, just check real good that we have, man, that's probably just about perfect. I mean, you get it too tight and you're gonna blow your gears up. You get it too loose, it'll start chipping them off the end. There's a happy medium in there. I've never been able to get the paper, the piece of paper, and and squeezing it together against the paper and then pulling the paper out. I've never gotten that to work. But that little tiny tick right there. All right, so for me, I'm gonna say that's good enough. Now we're gonna, so even when you put these last two screws in and you think you've got it lined up just right, sometimes this will, I guess you could say, kind of straighten it up in there and get it all leveled out, and then all of a sudden your gear mesh changes. So as I do each screw, and this is just me personally, I like to check it each time. Still got a little tiny tick. Doesn't feel like it's binding up in there, so we'll go on to the next screw. Put some Loctite on here. Still tiny tick, still rolls smooth. I'll go back to the two original screws. Sorry if I get a little quiet while I'm doing this. I'm focusing, concentrating. And here is the last one. Nice and smooth. Still got the tiniest tick. So that should be good. Hook my fuel lines up. And of course the exhaust pressure line. There we go. Yeah. Nice and clean looking. Get on there. Okay, so I don't know if you can see down in there, but it's a little tight. I think that fuel tank can withstand some heat. I mean, it is what it is on the size of this exhaust, and I'm sure they're all pretty close to the same. I doubt very seriously I go try and put another one on there, it's gonna make that gap any bigger. So hopefully it doesn't melt through it, but if so, we'll fix that problem when we come to it. Alright, so now we need to get this screw, brand new grub screw that will come with the exhaust. Put some Loctite on here. And I will say, I like this design better than a lot of them. Come on, I'm trying to zoom in on this here. So with this coming in the side, I've got plenty of room to get my hex driver here in the side. I got no problems getting in there, tightening that screw down, or even breaking it loose and taking it out. So many of them. I can't remember brand names. I just know from experience. Seems like so many of them come right here in the end. Then you got to come through your front end here to get the driver to it. Kind of like this. That becomes such a pain in the butt. So I really do appreciate Alpha setting up their pipe like this. Have no idea how, I'm not claiming that it's going to be the best because of that. I'm just saying my personal preference for installation and removal, I really do like that. It just it makes more sense. You got more room out here. You can even turn the wheel one way or the other and get yourself a little more room if need be. But you got plenty of room to come right in here behind the wheel. So much better than up here. Just something I noticed, and I was happy about whenever I saw it. So I just wanted to mention that. Okay, I'm not going to go crazy tight with this. Just want to make sure it's enough that it stays on there. Let's see. Make sure you guys can see what I got going here. Let's see here. Sorry, my camera mount's not the best. There we go. So, get on there. And So I'm not going to pull it real tight, just enough that it helps hold this on, because then every time you got to take it off, you got to cut the zip tie. But I found out over the years, I haven't tried with this one, of course, but I found out over the years that you don't have to get this super tight for it to hold. And then when you do get it on there, if you know, just getting it snug, most of the time you can peel it off. I'm not gonna mess with it now. I'll find out when I do go to change it if it worked on this one, but it should. Let's see here. So now, okay, so we got the fuel lines and the pressure line reattached. So it's brand new fuel tank, brand new lines, of course, brand new air filter, whatever you call this, the hose and the housing, and then these foams are brand new. They're those ones that come pre-oiled in a pack, but it was all gummy, so I completely rinsed it out. Only thing I got is red Traxxas air filter oil, so it's gonna be purple by the time I'm done with it. But anyways, so a lot of stuff on here is new. Like I said in the last video, I had to do a lot of rebuilding to this. Cleaned it up real well. Let's see, anything else? So I do need to hook this back up. Let's see. I'm trying to get it where you guys can see what I'm doing. I get you guys where you can see what I'm doing, and then I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so if my hand's out of the way, it's not blurry. How about that? Anyways, all I'm trying to do is get this on the little ball there. There. Now that's good. Let's see. I still don't have my receiver for the new controller, so I'm not gonna hook it up and work it electronically for you in this video. This is just mounting the engine, getting everything set, ready to go. Basically from here, I'm gonna oil the air filter. I don't think I have anything else that I need to do with this. So there you have it. Installation of the Alpha, what is it? The Alpha Plus Pro Spec. This is the 5-port. This is the B852. Haven't seen a whole lot of information on it online. Like, you got to dig for it. I don't know if it's, I'm assuming maybe it's a newer one. Not for sure. But, so there you have it. I don't even know. I'd have to look through the paperwork to even tell you what carburetor this is. It's whatever carburetor comes with this engine. I think a lot of this stuff is interchangeable. So one of the nice things about this, I've been looking for a new connecting rod for my Rex Legend 28.8 Novarossi. I barely have 2 gallons through it. When I took it apart the other day, it had some slop, some play on the pin. The crank pin, it has a little bit of play in it. I don't know why. I'm assuming maybe because I had some, like, an air leak, you know, and that high rev issues going on with it. So I'm assuming maybe that had damaged it a little. I'm guessing. I'm not a professional at these things. Just having fun. So if anybody knows of any crank rods that fit the Novarossi 28.8, please let me know. I have asked a couple of people, the Bug and Nitro Talk with Ted. He told me I need to measure the pin, make sure it's the same size, and see if you could help me out. So I'm hoping that works out. I just need to get me a caliper so I can measure everything correctly that he's asking for. So, and if you end up seeing this, Todd, thank you for responding to that. As soon as I get a caliper, I will get you the information, and anything that you can do for me, greatly appreciate it. If anybody else has any information, greatly appreciate that too. But back to kind of what I was saying with this, I was looking up, because I'd heard back, you know, there was some people had bad experiences with these Alphas and the connecting rod breaking. And I heard somebody say after you break them in, change out the connecting rod. So after I break it in, I'm going to take it apart, see if there's any play in this connecting rod, and see if I need to change it. And so I was looking up parts for it, and man, the list of engines that this sleeve and connecting rod and piston work in, it was a whole list of names of these different engines, and I kind of like that about the Alpha. Even on, like for the Dragon 4, it's got a list of 3 or 4 different engines. I think even with like the Dragon 5, the Dragon 2 I think is listed with these, if I'm not mistaken. I've looked through so much stuff, I might be getting a little bit of the information mixed up. But anyways, like I was saying, it's just neat how Alpha will intermingle the inner workings between different engines. I know some people may not like that. When stuff's hard to find, I mean, sometimes to me it's better that way. You know, just seems to be easier. I don't know. Could just be me. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Soon I will get the receiver in. I still got to get a 4S battery for the bump box. Weather's kind of nice, but of course we are beginning of February, and I'm assuming it's going to get cold again, so I don't know when I'm going to get to break this in. I'm hoping soon. I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to show you guys. And like I said, it's Alpha tool. It's pretty nice. I think it was only like 12 or 13 bucks, so not bad. Yeah, anybody's looking for a new spinner with the 8 mil, 10 mil, 5.5, and a 3-inch Allen, or 3 mil Allen on it. Alpha Racing, it's on Let's RC. So, all right. Thank you for tuning in. See you on the next one.